Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are all safe at home. So, do you have any guess what we are going to see today? Yes, we are going to continue the poem in the buses of Hyderabad. So, here we have got the poem in the buses of Hyderabad, which is written by Sarojini Naidu. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about who is Sarojini Naidu, right? So, who is Sarojini Naidu? She was a Indian freedom fighter and political activist and also a poet, right? And she is also called the Nightingale of India. Very good. And do you have any idea why this poem was written? I've explained to you. This also in your earlier classes, right? So this poem was written during the British rule, and when the Indians they wanted to boycott the British products and promote the Indian products, Indian goods, right? So only for that purpose this poem was written, and our poet Sarojini Naidu, she thought that poem is the best way to spread the news, isn't it? Because during that time newspapers were banned, so she thought that she could use poem as a way to spread the news. So why was this poem written? In order to boycott the British products and to promote the Indian goods. So this poem, it's a very colorful, vibrant poem, and this takes place in the buses of Hyderabad. So okay, before entering into these paragraphs, stanzas, I will explain you what we are seeing in the last lesson. Okay, so we'll just have a short recap. So in the first stanza, what's happening? So we see that Sarojini Naidu, the poet, she goes into each merchant and asks what they are selling, right? So in the first stanza, she's going to the merchant first. Okay, she's going to the merchant and asking him that his wares are displayed. So she is asking him, what are you selling? So that merchant is replying that he is selling turbans of crimson and silver. Turban, I have explained you that it's a long knot wrapped around your head, usually Sikhs and Hindus here, right? So he is selling turbans of crimson and silver, and he's also saying that he is also selling tunics of purple brocade. That's the expensive cloth where patterns are woven into it. So he is saying that he is selling tunics of purple brocade, and also he is selling mirrors with the panels of amber and daggers with the handles of jade. So this is in the first stanza, right? So in the second stanza, what is happening? She is going to the vendor, okay, who sells things. So she is going to the vendor and asking, what are you weighing and selling? And that vendor is replying that he is weighing saffron, lentil and rice, okay. And next she is going to the maidens and asking what they are grinding, and she is replying that she is grinding henna, sandalwood and spice, okay. And what happens next? Yes, that's right, she is going to the peddler. Who is the peddler? One who moves from one place to another in order to sell things, okay. So she is going to the peddler and asking, what are you calling out and selling? So that peddler, he is answering that he is calling out chessman and ivory dice. So he is selling chessman and ivory dice. And what happens next? Finally, she goes to goldsmith. Who is a goldsmith? Who makes jewels, okay. So she is going to the goldsmith and asking, what is he making? So he is saying that he is making golden bracelet, anklets and rings. And next he is saying that he is also making bells for the blue pigeons, for the feet of blue pigeons. So and he is comparing that bell to the dragonfly's wings, okay, because the bells are so fragile and delicate, because that should be worn by the blue pigeons, right? So it is so fragile and delicate as dragonfly's wings. And next he is saying that he is also making girdles for the dancers. What do you mean by girdles? Girdles means the inner garments used in those days, okay. So he is making girdles which are made up of gold. And at last he is saying that he is also making scabbards of gold for the king. What do you mean by scabbard? Scabbard is the cover for the blade, okay. Cover for the blade of this sword. So he is making that cover with gold for the king. Okay. So this was the reply given by that goldsmith. So this is what we have seen in the last class, and in today's class we will see the remaining two stanzas. Okay. So here we have got the remaining two stanzas. Okay. Let me read once. What do you cry, O ye fruitmen, citron, pomegranate, and plum? What do you play, O musicians, sitar, sarangi, and drum? What do you chant, O ye magicians, spells for the aeons to come? Next stanza. What do you weave, O ye flower girls, with tassels of azure and red? Crowns for the brow of the bridegroom, chaplets to garland is spread. Sheets of white blossoms, new gathered, to perfume the sleep of the dead. So, before entering into the stanzas, I'll just give you the meanings for the hard words. Okay? The first word, sitar. What is the meaning of sitar? An Indian musical instrument like a guitar with a long neck and a round body. Okay, so it's a Indian instrument. It's like a guitar. Okay, so sitar means an Indian musical instrument like a guitar with a long neck and a round body. And next word, aeon. Aeon means an extremely long period of time. Okay. What do you mean by aeon? An extremely long period of time. Next, tassel. What do you mean by tassel? A group of strings tied together at one end and fastened to clothing. Okay? Tassel means a group of strings tied together at one end and fastened to clothing. Next word, azure. Azure means bright blue. What's the meaning? Bright blue. Okay, bright blue color. Next, chaplets. Chaplets means a garland or circlet for a person's head. So it's basically a garland or a circlet for a person's head. Okay. Okay, children. We shall see the explanation of the poem now. First, the fourth stanza. What do you cry, O ye fruitmen, citron, pomegranate, and plum? So here, Sarojini Naidu, she is going to the fruitman who sells fruit. Okay, she is going to the fruitman and asking, what are you selling? And that fruitman is replying that he is selling citron, pomegranate, and plum. What is he selling? He is selling citron. Here, azure. So he is selling citron, pomegranate. Where is the pomegranate? Yes, we will find here. So, he is selling pomegranate and plum. Have you seen plum? So, here, this is the picture of plum. Here. Okay. So, this fruit is mainly available in the places like Kodaikanal or Ooty. Okay. So he is replying that he is selling citron, pomegranate and plum. Next, what do you play, oh musicians? Sitar, sarangi and drum. So she is going to the musicians. Next she is going to the musicians and asking, what are you playing? And that musician is replying that playing sitar, sarangi and drum. Okay. So we have seen the meaning of sitar. Sitar means an Indian musical instrument like a guitar with a long neck and a round body. So it's an Indian instrument, musical instrument. It's like a guitar, okay? And sarangi and drum, okay? So this is the reply of the musicians that they are playing sitar, sarangi and drum. Next, what happens? What do you chant, oh magicians? Spells for the aeons to come. So next she is going to the magicians because they are chanting some mantras. So she is going to the magician and asking, what are you chanting? And that magician is answering that I am chanting the spells with the divine power to come and help it to perform the magical tricks. So he wanted to perform some magical tricks. So he is chanting. He is chanting the spells for the divine power to come and to help them with the magical tricks. Okay. So this is what happening in the first stanza. So she is she's first going to the footman and asking what are they selling, and they reply that they're selling citron, pomegranate and plum. And then she's going to the magicians and asking what are they playing, and they reply that they are playing sitar, sarangi and drum. Next, finally, she's going to the magician and asking what are you chanting, and he replies that I'm chanting the spells of aeons to come, so the divine power to come and help him with the magical tricks. Okay, this is the stanza. So next stanza, what do you mean, O ye flower girls, with the tassels of azure and red? So here, okay, let me read the whole stanza first. What do you mean, O ye flower girls, with the tassels of azure and red? Crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed. Sheets of white blossoms new gathered to perfume the sleep of the dead. So next she is going to the flower girls, okay? And she is going to the flower girls and asking, what are you weaving? And those flower girls, she is asking that they are doing something with the tassels of azure and red. She is asking, what are you weaving with the tassels of azure and red? What do you mean by tassels? Here we have seen, right? Tassels means a group of strings tied together at one end and fastened to clothing. So here children, tassel means a group of strings tied together at one end and fastened to clothing. So here you can see these are tassels, okay? So as you can see, group of strings tied together, and this we can tie it with or attach it with clothes, okay? So these are tassels. Okay, and what do you mean by azure? Azure is already told bright blue color. So bright blue color. Can you see this? Yes. Okay, so Sarojini Naidu is asking the flower girls, what are you doing with? What are you weaving with tassels of azure and red? And she is saying that she is making crowns for the bridegroom in order to decorate their wedding bed. Okay. And next, what's happening? Chaplets to garland his bed. So they are making garlands. Okay. Chaplets means here a garland or fabric for a person's head. So those flower girls are making chaplets in order to decorate the bridegroom's wedding bed. And next, sheets of white blossoms new gathered to perfume the sleep of the dead. So they are also making a shade with the newly bought white flowers. Okay. Why are they making this flower sheets? In order to perfume the sleep of the dead. In order to lay that on the grave of the person's death. Okay. So in order to put it on the person's dead body. So why are they doing that? For the fragrance. Okay. So they are making a sheet with the white flowers in order to put it on the person's dead for the fragrance. Okay. So this is what happening in this stanza. Okay. Shall we recall? Okay, so here Sarojini Naidu, she is going to the fruitman and asking, okay children, so we shall have a recap now. So what's happening? First she is going to the fruitman and asking what are they selling, and they reply that they are selling citron, pomegranate and plum. Then she is going to the musicians and asking what they are playing, and they reply that they are playing sitar, sarangi and drum. Then what happens? She is going to the magicians and asking what they are doing. So the magicians are replying that they are chanting the spells of aeons to come, for the divine power to come and help them with the magical tricks. And next she is going to the flower girls and asking what are you weaving with tassels of azure and red, and the flower girls are replying that they are making crowns for the bridegroom in order to decorate their wedding bed. So they are making garlands, okay. And then she's saying that they are also making sheets with the white flowers in order to cover the bed of the dead for the fragrance, okay. So this is what happening in the stanza. I hope you have understood. So now we see the rhyming verse. Okay. So So in the here in the stanza, what are the rhyming words we come across? We come across the word plum, drum, come. Isn't it? Plum, drum, come. So here, plum, come. C-O-M-E, come. P-L-U-M, plum. Okay. Drum and plums. Drum, D-R-U-M, drum, and plum, P-L-U-M, plum. So the rhyming word we come across in the stanza are drum and plum, and also here you can split the words and then read the rhyming words. Okay, plum and come. And next, in the next stanza, what are the rhyming words we come across? So here, red, bed, and dead. So these are the three words we have in this stanza. So here, dead, bed, D-E-A-D, dead, and bed, B-E-D, bed, dead, bed. Okay, and next, red, bed, R-E-D, red, and bed, B-E-D, bed. Okay, so these are the rhyming words we have come across in these two stanzas. That is plum, drum, come, then red, bed, then. Okay, children. So we have completed the poem in the Buzzards of Hyderabad, which is written by Sarojini Naidu. Okay. So we'll see in the next class.
Here you can see a picture of sarangi. So sarangi means an Indian bowed musical instrument with 3 or 4 main strings. Here you can see the picture of sitar. Sitar means an Indian musical instrument like a guitar with a long neck and a round body. Tassel. Tassel is a group of strings tied together at one end and fastened to clothing. Azure. Azure means bright blue. So here you can see the color of azure. This is the picture which shows chaplets. Chaplets means a garland or circlet for a person's head.
Okay, see here children, for your home assignment, we get complete answer the following questions and fill-ups. So what you have to do, you have to write down the answer the following questions and fill-ups from your book bag exercise. Okay, and for your activity, draw the scene of Buzzards of Hyderabad. So you can take any scene of from the Buzzards of Hyderabad and you can imagine and draw. Okay. So you have to draw the scene of Buzzards of Hyderabad. So I hope you are clear with the home assignment and activity. Okay children, we will see in the next class. Thank you.